One of my favorite sayings is that to create is to see clearly. I kind of want to hop on here and just like introduce myself a bit more and talk about things I've done. I've been in this world of creative entrepreneurship for a while, and in this, I've seen so many different things along this journey that I think it's worth talking about and why it's important to place your stamp and choose something that you believe in. I think for me, I remember it was just like a very long day. I was working this job, I had everything going right, but I wasn't feeling fulfilled at all. And nothing really bad was happening, but it just felt like a routine and it almost felt soulless. I think I've always was the type of person that wanted more. Things were moving, but I wasn't really like making anything, and I feel like that wasn't enough. I think I wanted something more real, something more me. And I remember there was like something inside that was like telling me there's more, there's more to do with this. And that's when I kind of started picking up a camera. I didn't even know in the beginning what I was doing and where it would take me. Filmmaking to me has given me a different path that I could not have foreseen. And I think one of the cool things about it is that it's every subject at once. You are juggling so many different tasks and skills you have to manage, all for the sake of creating and clarifying your message. Now, I think it really made me sit and wonder, what do I really want to say? And that's where it's all started. Creating is like entering a whole new state of mind, and it's not glamorous. Creating is about doing all the unsexy things. People love the camera, they love the flashy edits, but what it really takes is to sit with an idea, sitting with the message, and being willing to filter out everything that isn't essential. And it forces me to ask, is this true to who I am and what I want to say? And to answer that, I feel like you have to be fully immersed from the concept to the writing to the filming. Every part of the process requires focus and making sure people leave with something that they can take with them. Creating has also taught me about collaboration. You can have ideas, but when you work as a team, you start to see what's practical, what's possible, and what could only be built together. Through that, I built bonds, networks, and people I really enjoy working with. It's honestly made me more confident in myself and what I'm doing, because I think it's easy to get drawn by other people's voices and opinions. They have their words, they have their beliefs, they have their emotions. But when I take the effort to clarify what I really want to say and make sure it's actually authentic, that's what lasts. And to keep doing that, I have to keep writing, keep filming, keep creating, even when no one else is watching, all for the sake of putting a message out there in the world. I don't want there to be any mistake about that.
You have become truly lost. But if you make yourself more than just a man, if you devote yourself to an ideal, and if they can't stop you, then you become something else entirely. Which is? Legend, Mr. Wayne.
So why still believe in art? It shows people who I am, what I care about, and how I see the world. And more than that, filmmaking allows me to deliver other people's messages as well. I've worked with business owners, artists, individuals, entrepreneurs. Through that, it's also helped me find my own voice. I really believe art and filmmaking is a way to say, this is what I believe in. And that kind of messaging is important. It builds trust. It helps people feel something. It connects and it builds community, something that we're lacking a lot nowadays. And I feel like a lot of other places don't do that. We're in a world that's like constantly separated, being pulled apart in many different directions, and it's slowly eating us up. And most importantly, I think we're losing that deep connection with many people. I think it's important to bring that back. A good, healthy, flourishing life is having a community, and that's what builds long term relationships in business and in life. When I think about my future, I want it to be about the stories I tell. That's my stamp, that's my DNA. It's helping people bring their voice out, including my own. And I want to find a community and stay close to people who feel the same way. I want to keep making, I want to keep creating, I want to be able to find inspiration in different locations and experiences, but more importantly, work with good people who have that entrepreneurial spirit. This is what I feel is right. Especially now as the world is more divided, I think art and crafts is more important than ever. Even if it's risky, this is why I still believe in art and filmmaking in general. It brings people closer, it makes you pay attention. And I think one of the most important things in life aren't always the easiest or loudest, but the ones that are created with intention and care. It's about connecting at a deeper level, and that's what art and filmmaking allows us to do.
Perfect. Yeah, oh my god. Man, why are you doing sad?
About it, but honestly,
How do you feel for the
Fuji's
I feel good. I feel good. I do want to
I
try
don't
getting
use
that
autofocus
low key.
yeah.
Especially because it seems like we're
I'm saying
like,
for
we're gonna get there
like
really
weddings
quickly, I
and
think.
stuff.
Oh yeah. I want to see.
I'll set up while
I also
going on.
don't
Okay.
use it, partly because
Because the thing is, we would have to get it.
it's good.
You can't like pan and then do that, right? It would just be that.
We're set.
right?
Yeah,
Is
ready?
that what you want, or do you want?
Well, if we could pan, that would be cool because we can basically do what we're doing within that too. But
So hey,
yes, sir.
we're set. Audio's set.
Okay, yeah.
Everything's ready. So
Okay,
we're ready
yeah.
to frame up. And if
Yeah.
you want to tell them where to start,
Yeah. Awesome.
So,
So-
can I get?
Yeah, so I kind of want to end off here on a less scripted note and kind of talk more about like why I really did this at the end of the day, because I'm trying to do a lot more of these things. So I just wanted to set up here a bit and just talk more. Yeah, because I'm kind of making this video because at the end of the day, I'm building a business and I'm building kind of a lifestyle that requires like a lot of focus. Filmmaking is not easy, neither is entrepreneurship. I think these are some of the hardest jobs you can pick out because there's a lot of uncertainty involved. And by making this video, there's a lot of focus and clarity on what I want, as well as this also is a message to me in many ways to not lose sight of who I am at the end of the day, because I don't want to go down this path and really forget who I am. Most importantly, like I am like an artist first. I'm an artist, creator, filmmaker first, and then it's business. So it's important for me not to forget that aspect of me and like who I am, because I've seen kind of the route that goes when you get too mechanical and focus too much on the business. But also, because to me, it's important not to chase the trends or the money, but really find clarity and focus on who I am. And by doing that naturally, you're going to surround yourself with like-minded people who are going to help me grow, because I can't really do all this alone. I have to really be putting myself out there and putting myself in situations that I never thought I'd be in, and a lot of uncomfortable moments, so I can't lie. But I know these things are necessary if I'm going to find the people that I want to work with, or find the people I really enjoy spending my time with. I've seen a glimmer or a glimpse of what that could look like, and it's something I really want to strive towards and keep building, because I found more meaning in pursuing something like that than being told what I was doing in the past and following kind of like the orders that maybe people have given me. But I think tying down your values first is far more important than any of the things. I'm kind of with this video laying kind of the groundwork for my mission, my foundation, my beliefs, because these things are gonna permeate, or they're going to be seen across all my career. And it's important for me to remind myself and put myself on video like this to hold myself accountable, but also find that clarity that I've been seeking. By focusing myself on putting everything on camera, I feel like I'm getting a much better perspective on who I am. But also, when I do talk to other people, I feel like I'll be able to connect with them more because they'll know a lot more about me. I also find like a lot of joy in just sharing my work as an artist and seeing what I'm thinking, because the more I'm kind of going into this, it's really easy to get lost in like so many fancy things. But at the end of the day, it's like, are you really staying true, telling a story? I'm kind of sharing my process a bit more, because I think I have like a unique insight, and I am on my kind of beginning trajectory of like putting everything together. I feel like for the longest time I've been having these ideas floating in space, but now they're slowly coming together, from all different directions, because it felt like everything I wanted to do was over here, over there. But I kind of like describe it like I had puzzles, but I had puzzle pieces, but I didn't have the puzzle itself. And it feels like now I'm starting to put and piece everything together slowly, and this is kind of one of my ways of doing that. And also like I think the cool thing about being balanced between an artist and an entrepreneur is that there's a way to approach topics without be seeming so ungrounded. I think there's a happy medium between pursuing ideas and putting your work out there, but also being grounded to reality and not ignoring like the simple truths of this world. I kind of had like a really tough times kind of getting to the stage where I'm at, and I look back and I'm so grateful for all those moments, because it's helped me find my clarity in many things that I'm doing right now. And I think through all those experiences, I think the one thing that kind of stood out was meaning, and striving to push through yourself through the tough times, because it's really easy to get drowned in a lot of the work, and it's very easy to get caught up in something that you didn't expect. But to really kind of lay the foundation and clarity of like why you're still pursuing art, why I'm still filmmaking, these are kind of like the beginning of what I really want to do and start planning, because I have a lot of cool things lined up. But I'm also trying to take the time to sit back and be more grounded and real, because a lot of things that do attract me are very abstract, and I think I do like have that. When you really get to know me, I'm just like a really grounded person, and it's taken me a while to kind of strike that balance. So it's like I do want to find these material. I do want to like not material, but making these videos to attract the right audience and the people I really believe that would benefit from these videos. Um, but also, it helps me looking back, seeing kind of my growth, but also, where I stand, and reminding myself constantly, like this is what I'm choosing over, the stability of other ways. Because I've tried that other lifestyle, and it's just not for me. Building is something real, even if it takes a bit longer. I kind of know the path I'm headed on, and finding that clarity has taken me so many years. But I'm really just happy to be kind of on this path, and I'm hoping to make a lot more. So kind of on that note, I'm gonna be heading out. But if you stuck around, I really appreciate it, and I'm hoping to do a lot more of these.